Lugwet. Settle down. It's 9 o'clock. We're KUAM FM in Agotni, Guam. Good morning. It's the Link of the Breeze, 93.9. Thursday, November 19th episode. And like I said, we're jumping in with Marte Parr. Marte Hara Parr, for those of you who may know her. And Speaker Tina Munya Barnes. Martha, wow, I was pretty shocked to find out because I remember when we brought you on with Benny. First of all, how's the husband?
Benny?
How's the husband?
Benny actually finally returned to work this week. So he's been out of work since October 12th. So it's been over a month, but now he finally went back. We're praying he stays safe on the construction job. It is on naval base, but since the last time he tested positive, there hasn't been any new cases. So that at least shows us that NAVFAC and all the contractors are doing their part, with stricter safety measures.
Right.
So,
Who is this that called me?
And Speaker Barnes, good morning, Speaker.
Hi, good morning, Chris. Trying to multitask here this morning. Manana Zeus to you and Sabrina, and of course the KUAM family with Jason and everybody else there.
Thank you
Marty,
so
good
much.
morning.
good morning.
So, Marty, your husband recovered. He's back at work. That's so good to hear because when we talked to him, man, with the number of calls and messages I got about that interview, it was really overwhelming. A lot of people really watched your husband and saw how serious his condition was, and they really washed their hands. They put on their mask. I thought it was unfortunately, a good example for people to kind of see and maybe take this a little more seriously.
Yeah, I know our relatives are even wearing masks inside the house when they're together now,
Right.
So
That's good.
even that message of within the house and how it can spread between spouses was effective.
A good cautionary tale, and we're so glad he's doing good. But I remember during the interview, you had brought up that with everything that was going on with your hubby being in the hospital and fighting this virus, that you were sitting there worrying about whether or not your insurance was even going to cover this. And so there have been some developments, right, with your insurance, which is it was Take Care, right?
Correct.
Yeah. I got to
We
know,
have
Joe.
Take Care Insurance.
Right. And so what had happened? Because I remember you were looking at a $16,000 hospital bill at the time we did the interview. What were the final charges, and what happened when you went to Take Care to find out if this was even going to be covered?
Basically, they gave me the same story of the exclusion and that everything after he tested positive was not going to be covered. So his emergency visit on October 12th was $4,494.18, but he tested negative, so they should cover that. Then 10/14, his ER visit was where he tested positive. The ER was $2,208.36. And then he got admitted. So his GMH bill from the 14th through the 19th, when I got the phone call about the denied benefits, that total is $13,952.21. So if I go by Rebecca James and what she said about after testing positive, then that's $16,160.57. And we never got a bill for the transport from GMH to the home isolation. So I'm not sure if that's something that was covered by COVID funds or if we're going to get a bill still for that.
I want to read a little bit because we did get a copy of the denial letter. Dear member, the purpose of this letter is to inform you that, in bold, no benefit will be paid in connection with epidemic-related treatment as specified under general exclusions of your schedule of benefits. This determination is based upon Take Care Insurance guidelines and policies, specifically written on page 22 of the schedule of benefits. See attached copy. You may wish to discuss alternative arrangements for any further health care you may require with your attending or primary care physician. Should you or your physician wish a copy of the criteria used to arrive at this denial decision, or if your physician wishes to discuss this case with our physician/reviewer, you or your physician may contact our reviewers at the number. And so did you contact Take Care about this denial?
I did, but I was just referred to the fact that I have 6 months to appeal it. it wasn't really helpful. I did reach out with an email to the Guam Contractors Association, because that's who our company is insured through. I did let James Martinez know, the president of GCA, which he forwarded it to the committee members who handle the open enrollment, because as you know, it's open enrollment right now until December 4th, and Take Care is the provider for GCA right now. So I brought that awareness to them as well, so that they would be aware. This exclusion is only on the Platinum Premier plan. And the sad thing about it is I used to have a similar plan way back in 2008 to 9 when I worked at the Greyhound, and that was under Calvo's. And I had the same plan where no matter what, ER or medical, I only pay $100 deductible. And of course I pay a higher premium for that to have that peace of mind. When I was in the hospital back in 2008 or 9, I only paid the 100 and that bill was paid. And it's a very similar plan to this. And that's why I selected it, for the peace of mind. And instead I'm getting opposite. But that's why when I checked all the other websites, this was the only plan that has that exclusion about epidemic. And that's where I was shocked, because I never thought that it was not going to be covered. I never worried about it. I was more worried about GMH saving my husband, because that morning it looked like he was about to have a stroke. It was just so much pain and he was numb. And I mean, it just really hit him hard and fast the second time around. So I'm first worrying about, is he going to make it to his next birthday, which was October 29th. I was grateful for that. And, to get this news on October 19th, where his recovery was starting to be positive. They said he was able to walk around. He was like the only one that was a positive case in GMH that could walk around to his toilet on his own and, to take a shower on his own. But, once we got that call of denial, I just immediately called the doctor and said, get him out of there, because I can't afford it, get him out. Wow. So they transported him to the house, and then he continued to recover at home. But
what a shame.
It was still a lot, of worry that, you have that roller coaster where, is he going to die? Am I going to see him again? Okay, he's getting better. Then, oh no, now the benefits, so it's like an ongoing battle.
Tell me what your feeling was, though, when you have an insurance, right? Because there's always that conversation, a lot of people don't have insurance. So when you even have an insurance plan, you're right, it should bring peace of mind so that you can just worry about taking care of your husband, worry about talking with GMH. But to find out that they're not even covering COVID, they're not even accepted at GRMC, I mean, it's crazy. Were you crushed? I mean, to have to worry about medical bills at a time like this? I mean, it's almost the epitome of...
My first reaction to the girl was, it was kind of like, are you, I used a little profanity, kidding me? And then I said, I apologize. I know you're just the messenger, but, I can't accept this. I'm going to fight this. And I'm just letting you know, you can tell your management, I'm going to take it to the governor. I'm going to take it to the senators. I'm going to take it to whoever I need to fight this. And I do plan to appeal it, because this is wrong.
And speaking of fighting it, you have someone in your corner. We have Speaker Tina Muñoz Barnes. Speaker, you heard the story and you're taking action. Tell us about this letter that you've written.
Thank you, Bree, and thank you, Chris, and just being able to hear this from you guys. Thank you very much for literally helping Marty out here. When this came to our attention, because we had received other constituents who may have been going through the same problem, but maybe not as severe, and we wanted to see what was going on. We wanted to make sure that the insurance companies that insure these folks, not just the named insurance, but all the other insurance companies, we found out that yes, even if it was COVID related, those premiums would be covered. So in the effort, Chris, of working with what we heard from Marty and through the interviews, we did write a letter to the U.S. Attorney, Sean Anderson, who's the Deputy Attorney General. We wrote to Fred Nishiera, who is the Consumer Protection Division out of the Office of the Attorney General's office. And then we wrote to the Insurance Commissioner, Mrs. Daphne Shimazu, who's the Director of Revenue and Tax, which includes the Guam Banking and Insurance Commission. And we wrote that letter on October 26th. And I know it's days later, but we did do a follow-up yesterday, and with the U.S. Attorney, who shared with me our office that your email and attachments were forwarded to the FBI. And I must tell you on this effort that I cannot confirm or deny the existence of the federal investigation, but that my office was informed that your documentation that has been submitted to the U.S. Attorney's Office has been set for further investigation. So I just want you to know that in the efforts of following through, our office also followed up with the AG's office, Fred Nishihara, and the banking commissioner. And based on their prior conversations, they assured me that they were still looking into it. And Sabrina and Chris, and to you, Marty, because I know that you know this, the reason why I wrote this letter is because we looked at the provisions of the mandates, the federal mandates, and it says, from my understanding, the reason for the reason cited for the denial is to extent that a natural disaster, war, riot, civil insurrection, epidemic, or any other emergency or similar event not within our control results in our facilities, personnel, or financial resources being unavailable to provide or arrange for the provisions of basic or supplemental health services or supplies in accordance with this plan. This means that should there be a catastrophe and its results in their facility, personnel, or natural resources being unavailable, only then will care not be provided. For example, should there be riots, typhoons, or any other natural disaster that results in a facility having to shut down, its medical personnel not able to report to work, and its financial resources being depleted as a result of this riot, only after all these three conditions having been met will care not be covered. But that's not the case in this matter. Their facilities are still open and staffed, and therefore these conditions are not fulfilled per their contract to deliver health care. And folks, I am concerned because as we look at our residents and folks like Marty and Benny and their family residents, and as we try to overcome this COVID together, we know of other residents who are very reluctant when they're feeling ill not to go get the care that they need because they are afraid to get stuck with a large medical bill. The same thing Marty just said now.
Yeah.
It's like as soon as I found out that I'm not covered, I told them, get my husband out.
Crazy.
Because there's no way that I can try and get that care, which is not right. We should be able to look as a community. That's why residents and employees pay, or employers pay for coverage, premium and coverage, because if there's a health issue, that they know that they're assured in their mind that if they're ill, they're going to go get the medical services that they need. And you know what? I must say again, our office, looking at all the other insurance companies available, even with what the government has, they have said that the coverage, if you're going to get the testing, it's included. If you're going to get the services, whatever is negotiated in the plan will be covered. And until that changes, I'm going to continue to follow this case through, because I think it's important that our residents also understand, inclusive of the Parr family, that they should never be afraid, never be afraid to go get the medical care if they're feeling ill. Believe me, I understand. Too many people around my bubble have been compromised. I have a mother who's 86 years old, and every day, I've been tested 7 times because of the compromising of my mom's bubble. And I don't want that to happen to anybody else. If anybody feels ill, they should be able to go and seek that coverage. And even when we found out that there may be some differences of information that was sent out by public health, we from this office took the time to call public health and say, Please help us. Tell us what the rules and regs are, and remind us, this is what the executive order says. How do we tell these constituents where to go, what to do, and should they isolate, stay home? All those rules and protocols and guidelines that are there. Sabrina and Chris, you guys are the ones that continue to tell the story out there. We must continue to share this because people shouldn't have to suffer like Benny and Marty.
Yeah.
And I am following it through, I know this takes a while, but I'm not here to put blame on it. I'm here to make sure that our people know that when they're paying for a coverage, and if there is coverage out there based on the CARES Act, that these people, our community, should know that they have a place to go to, or they can make those calls, or they make sure that they're covered. And
Right,
that is
yeah.
why I continue to follow this case through. And I'm hoping that with this interview that we can continue to check and double check and just keep following up until we get the answers. Because as of today, the Parr family is not covered, which is wrong. Which is not right.
Marty, so it's open. It's open and
or insurance premiums. It should be covered.
right. It's open enrollment now, Marty. What would your message be as people live in this pandemic and live with the fear that they could easily catch this virus because it's everywhere, and if they catch this virus, depending on what insurance they have, it might not even be covered.
There. Basically, I did do an email to the president, James Martinez of the Guam Contractors Association, and I happen to be our company's point of contact for all the open enrollment. We also had I gave them the speaker's letter, let them know the progress that, it's going to the U.S. Attorney, the Attorney General, because, like I mentioned in my previous interview, just like Speaker mentioned, when I read that exclusion, I'm like, it says if resources are unavailable, and they are available. GMH is open, the clinics are open by appointment only. Obviously, we're still paying our premiums, so they have financial resources, and then, their personnel is available. So I had the same interpretation, and I was glad when I heard from Speaker that they got a legal opinion and my interpretation was correct, that these are available. Therefore, that exclusion would not apply.
Right.
And so that was, a gleam of hope. The fact that I'm not in this fight alone, I really appreciate Speaker and her staff for always reaching out to me in the communication. Every time I get a new item, I send it to them so that they can continue to, compile the file. And it's kind of sad because here I am at open enrollment and I only have the choice of Take Care again. And it's a matter of, okay, do I move to the other plan that is 80/20 because it doesn't have the exclusion? But, the whole reason why I came on this show was to bring public awareness. I myself used to be a licensed life insurance agent selling life and health insurance in California. So I understand some of the terminology, and that's why I was able to say this is wrong. And I need to bring the public aware because it might not just be Guam. We don't know how many other insurance companies are trying to get out of paying the bill. And here on Guam, we had that unique situation where back in March, GMH denied Take Care patients because of the dispute in so many millions of bills. And then September 9th, the media reported that we got a letter from Take Care as a newsletter that, we're now accepted again at GMH. And then within a month, here we go, they're denying my benefits to pay the GMH bill. And GMH and the frontliners, I love them so much. They saved Benny. They honestly saved his life. He would not be here or had celebrated another birthday because he was really in bad condition. If you guys would have seen him.
No, we saw. No.
But I'm so grateful to God that, and Santa Maria Carmelin, everybody, all
Viva
our GMH,
Santa Maria Carmelin!
Yes, protecting our island. My fellow GMH Volunteers Association, Pink Ladies, we're prayer warriors. We keep everybody in prayer. I've lost some relatives. We've lost some relatives recently, and I don't even know that they died due to COVID until afterwards. And it's so sad. because, we only see the statistics that there's another fatality. And then later on, you find out that you're related to that fatality.
Yeah, they're not just
And,
numbers.
it's so sad because we don't have that closeness this whole year. I mean, I put up my tree early because just to lift spirit,
Right, right.
it was just, it's been such a dismal year.
Right.
That,
Marte?
we're trying to do what we can to like stay positive,
Right.
protect ourselves, wear the masks, spread the word. It's just really sad that, this situation came up, but I'm also grateful because it's bringing that awareness out there so that it can hopefully stop
Right.
and help other families.
Marte, I know speaker, you got to go. Can you tell us anything about where you're heading to? Just a little teaser, maybe?
Yes, thank you. I'm headed to Homeland Security, and I want to thank the Guam Soccer Association, working closely with our office and the administration to get more medical test kits, PCR test approved, FDA approved test kits. And I just want to say it's UAE approved. And UAE, I'm sorry, UAE donated. That's the International Soccer Association, and they have DFA Guam Football Association here on Guam have definitely stepped up to the plate to literally work with our community to bring in much needed relief. And I want to thank the United Arab Emirates working with GFA to make sure that Guam gets some assistance, and they pulled through. It took some time, but we've got the test kits here today. So that's where I'm headed to. And I apologize, I'm going to have to cut this meeting short.
Well, thank you for your time, speaker.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Speaker, we appreciate you.
Marte.
DC. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
All right. Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Marte, there's an old joke about take care. Oh, you better take care because you get sick, it's not covered. Oh, you get the bill. Oh, yeah, you're going to have to take care of that. I just wanted to provide a little lightness, but it's a very serious situation. So in closing, what's your word to people out there? Read the fine print? I mean, you are someone who reads the fine print and you understand the fine print. You're like, take care's worst nightmare.
Well, honestly, I didn't read the fine print until I was given the denial,
Right.
and it said it's in item 22 of the benefits. So then I pulled out that exclusion and I said, wait a minute, I read this exclusion. I said, but this doesn't apply. It says if it's unavailable, and they are available. So I don't get it, And because I'm not an attorney, that's why I wanted to seek, the ways of legal opinion. I also went to the government because of the fact that, maybe there's COVID assistance, other programs that we
Right,
know that
yeah.
they're looking at to try and improve. They did the bereavement
Right, yeah.
assistance, and so I was asking, like, is there something for the people that do survive it now?
Right.
Good
point.
So that
Good point.
we can have. We're hurting too. Benny's been in and out of work because he got COVID on September 14th. There was that 2-week isolation. Then there's the other. This one took a lot longer than 2 weeks for him to recover, but the Department of Labor employee rights flyer, it covers that we have up to 80 hours paid leave. Well, he exhausted that the first time he got COVID. It doesn't say 80 hours per COVID. So of course, he's been like a whole month without income. And so, I'm struggling to do what I can to try and, juggle the bills. Fortunately, a lot of the creditors are doing payment plan, or they've done some deferment, at least of principal, not in, and then I pay the interest. I wish there was another round of PPP, for the company, but
Right.
that would help. But it's just, we're all struggling. I've lost a friend to suicide that couldn't handle the pressure. I've lost a cousin from the port, and then a recent uncle. And we're just doing our best. I mean, we help take care of Uncle Eloy and Connie Hara.
Right.
We take care of their landscaping, because they're in their 80s.
Yeah.
And it's hard because, with Benny being positive and us being isolation, I can only imagine how much grass we need to cut now. But, we're going to be over there this weekend and helping with what we can. But we're going to pretty much just stay on the outside of their house because we have to, keep them isolated for caution. But it's just, our family. We reached out to them. It's been one of those situations where we know that because the numbers keep increasing, that DPHSS has their hands full. They may be understaffed. So, we try not to utilize their resources and try to use within our family, that somebody steps up and gets us groceries or does an errand for us while we were in isolation. And, we were so thankful for our family and all the prayer warriors out there keeping prayers for us. And it was really scary, This Friday is Grandma's heavenly birthday. And so we're definitely going to go visit her and thank her for looking out for Benny. And,
Wow.
there was some scary times, but, I would get goosebumps every time when he would mention about, that he saw the deceased. And at first I thought he was hallucinating, but as he described, his conversations with them later on, it was like, oh, they were telling him to fight it. They were telling him to hang on, and so I was like, okay, thank you. So we're, for All Souls Day, we thanked everybody. We prayed for everybody, and this Friday, we're going to go visit Grandma's grave again and thank her again. We're just, within our culture, we thank our Manamcos, we thank our Tautamona, we thank our everybody, and we count our blessings. And I'm just so grateful he made it to another birthday. We're here to celebrate Thanksgiving, and this is the time to be thankful. And so we just got to count our blessings.
I got to say the irony, though, that the Catch-22 was on page 22.
Exactly.
Terrible.
I thought the same thing.
Wow. Well, great minds think alike, Marte.
I try to be as good as you, Chris.
I'm trying to be as good as you guys. What?
Don't get him started.
Jade, I'm in the middle of being
Sabrina's
complimented.
gonna be shaking her head. Oh no.
Yeah, right.
Chris is like, well, the link today is going to go until 1 p.m. because I got some people that want to tell me how great I am.
Sabrina's really the mastermind behind this. Thank you, Marte. I
But
appreciate it.
you know what, Marte? I'd just like to add, I've been here throughout the whole interview. You epitomize, so many amazing characteristics. You are the strength of the Guamanian
You were like the Aaron
truly.
Brockovich of,
Yep.
Yeah.
right? That's who she's reminding me of,
Yeah. So many people should just look up to you for, for strength, for inspiration, for guidance. You, like I said, you epitomize the strong Chamorro woman. I mean, we're in awe
Well,
of you.
thank you, because actually, I'm a transplant. I was actually with the San Diego Sons and Daughters of Guam Club, and in 2007, I came over to Guam as part of a liberation delegation. If you guys remember John Gerber's daughter, Christiana, she was our royal princess, and Olga Baji, she was our queen. And I came over as part of that delegation, and I just fell in love with Guam. And it was to the point where I decided that's the year I was going to move here. And so I came here after that liberation, and I've just loved it since. And just the hospitality, the welcoming. I mean, believe it or not, I'm 55. And when I came here, it's like you guys didn't care about age. You just wanted experience. You wanted that new energy, the positive energy. So, where I was back in the States, kind of like trying to get an interview or anything, I came here and I had like 5 job offers. So it was just the whole spirit of, and hospitality of Guam just really welcomed me. And there's no age discrimination. It's like we look forward to all the talent, the experience. And I wanted to do more, to help the community and do what I can with our Discover Guam company. We were, busy with tourism. We helped as ambassadors for the airport, for GVB, for the PHR Chem Corporation, and even though that tourism is shut down, we're still trying to promote it, to get out there and say, hey, Guam will be open soon and it will thrive again. And, we just do what we can. It's about our culture, our history, and our people. Definitely the people.
Viva Guam!
Viva! And real quick, 2-second comment. I've been to the San Diego Guam Club. Best chicken Kelaguen I know I'm gonna get. Best chicken Kelaguen I've ever had in my life was by the San Diego Chamorros. They made an amazing plate.
Whoa, easy there.
I think he's asking for us all to give him a sample of our chicken Kelaguen so he can try it.
I have to be the judge of this.
It was amazing.
I just got to say, I've never seen Jason eat chicken Kelaguen.
Yeah.
I love chicken Kelaguen. Come on, guys.
Okay. Thank you, Marte.
More like hot dogs.
All right, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Kelaguen beans and franks?
Keep us posted, please. Would you?
Yes,
Marte?
please.
will
Okay.
do.
Okay. Thank
All
you
right,
so
take
much.
care.
God bless you and Benny.
Oh,
God
see,
bless
she said
Guam.
take care. No,
Right.
stay well.
Yeah, stay well if you have take care. All right, thank you. A day. That's just wrong in all kinds of ways. We're going to take a quick break, guys. We're coming back with beer. Like my friend Steve Claro says, beer! Beer. What time is it? Beer. What day of the week is it? Beer. It's beer. Yeah, we're coming back with Andrew Brunson. He's the brewmaster at Guam Brewery. So we're coming back, beer.